Hi, it's Branka from Moss Tutoring, doing a little bit of a different video today. So this is a walkthrough of the Key Stage 2 2022 Arithmetic Paper 1. So just bear in mind that this is not a teaching video, it's just literally just a walkthrough about how to approach the questions more than anything. So let's get started. So on the first page, if you've seen these at school, you probably would have seen that it'll ask you for lots of different information. And so make sure you fill those in with the information that you need. This one has a random blank page there. Then it says here's some instructions on how to complete the paper. So you can't use a calculator to answer any questions in this test. You have 30 minutes to complete it. If you're not entitled to any extra time, then you'll just have 30 minutes. Work as quickly and as carefully as you can. Put your answer in the box for each question. So you'll have a blue box here. So so just make sure the answer does actually go into that box. Okay, so when I've been tutoring, some people just haven't done that. So make sure that the answer goes in to make sure it's taken. All answers should be given as a single value. And so just for questions expressed as common fractions or mixed numbers, you should give your answer as a common fraction, a mixed number, or a whole number as appropriate. If you can't do one, go on to the next one. You can always come back to it later if you have time. So that's something that I would say, because like if you're finding actually this is taking a little bit too long and you're still not getting to an answer, move on and then come back to that one, because there could be some other ones that you could actually just gain some marks on. So yeah, if you find it taking too long, move on. If you finish before the end, go back and check your works. It's always good to do that. And then it will tell you how many marks are on each question. So if it has 2 marks, I would really make sure that you're showing a method, because it could mean that you could get a mark for showing a method, like it says here. And all the other questions are worth 1 mark each. Okay, so I will make mistakes as I go along. But that's a good thing, because it shows that I'm human, and it shows that I'll need to go back and double check my work as well. So it's just good to make sure that I'm showing that I'm doing it as well. So just bear with me as I go through this paper. So let's get stuck in. So I'll probably do it in more than half an hour because I'm explaining things as I go along, but half an hour is the maximum time that you would get if you're not entitled to any extra time. Right, let's get stuck in. So this question here says 6,155, add 501, add 649. Pause the video to have a go. Okay, so I'm going to just literally do this as column addition. So 6,000, oh, I don't know why that's disappearing. Let's get the pen back. There we go. So let's start again. So 6,155, making sure that you're lining up the digits correctly. So 501, 649. Okay, so 5 add 1 is 6, add 9 is 15. 5 add 4 is 9, add 1 is 10. Okay, 1 add 5 is 6, add 6 is 12, add 1 is 13. And then I've got 6 add 1 in the thousands is 7,000. So I've got my answer there, but I need to remember to make sure I put this answer in this box here. Otherwise, I won't get that nice 1 mark there. Okay, right, let's look at the next one. So, okay, so number 2, 0 times 989. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, how did you get on? Well, 0 times anything is 0. So that's a nice, straight, quick, easy mark to get that one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So 10 add something equals 302. Take a quick pause and have a quick go. Okay, so this one is showing the inverse. So because it's 10 add something equals 302. So I would use the inverse operation to work out what this answer would be. So you do 302, take away 10, which would make 292. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. So I've got number 4, 2,400 divided by 2. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, so how did you get on? So how I would do this, I'd say, oh, look, if I'm not quite sure, I could do, take off 2 zeros and do 24 divided by 2, which is 12, then add the 2 zeros back on the end. Or you could even do some bus stop method if you're not 100% sure, or half of 2,400 is 1,200. Okay, let's take a look at number 5. So taking a look at this one, pause the video and have a go. Okay, so basically this question is asking something, add 70 because 485. So it's a bit like the question that was earlier on, where we could just use the inverse to find out the answer to this one. So I know that 485 take away 70 is 415. Okay, so 415 add 70 is 485. You could also use column subtraction there to help you out as well. Okay, so next up we have number 6, 6.48 add 8.6. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, so how did you get on? So let's get these added up together then. So make sure I put these into the boxes to make the adding up a little bit easier. So I might add this side this time because I'm going to show you for why. So 8.6. So actually I could just put a 0 here just to make a little placeholder to make things a bit easier for myself. So 8 has 0 in the hundredths is 8. 4 adds 6 in the tens is in the tenths is 10 tenths, which would make 1 whole. So I'll pop that there. And then 6 add 8 add 1. So I could add this 1 to the 7 there to the 6 to make it 7. So that would make 15.08. Yep, I've got my answer here, but I now need to remember to put it in this box here to make sure that my answer is taken. Okay, so well done for if you got that answer before. So this next one is something equals 240 divided by 8. Pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so how did you get on? So I know that I could just do 8 times something equals 240. I know that 8 times 3 is 24. So if I times that 3 by 10, I'm going to get 30. So the answer to this one would be 30. So again, I'm using my times tables facts. Well done if you got that one. Okay, so let's take a look at question 8. 840 divided by 5 equals something. So pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so if you're not sure, you could do, I'm going to use not column, start again, short division for this one. So I'm going to do 5 here, 840 here. So 5 into 8 goes once with 3 left over. 5 into 34 goes 6 times with 4 left over. Oops. There we go. Just about to make out that's a 4. And 5 into 40 goes 8 times, making my answer 168. So to make sure I write that in this box to make sure that I'm given that 1 mark. Well done if you got that one. Okay, let's have a look at question 9. 7,306 take away 1,847. Pause video and have a little go. Okay, so let's see how we got on. So I would just do this again as column subtraction. So 7,306 take away 1,847. I'm going to use the boxes as if it's a maths book to help me line up my digits, so I'd recommend doing that if you can. So 6 take away 7 can't do. Let's take away from the 0. Oh, we can't do that either. So let's take away from the hundreds to make that 10. Then we're going to make that into a 9. So that's going to make that 16 ones. Take away 7 ones, which is 9. 9 take away 4 is 5. 2 take away 8 we can't do, so we're just going to do a quick bit of exchanging. So 12 take away 8 is 4, and 6 take away 1 is 5 in the thousands. To make our answer 5,459. Okay, so you may have seen that that answer has now gone from up here as well. Please don't worry about that. I'm just literally pausing it and clearing them as I go. So, but yes, do make sure that your answers go in these boxes every single time. Well done if you got that one. Okay, so let's have a look at question 10. 1010 times 10. Pause video and have a go. Okay, so how did you get on? So, if you're timesing any whole number by 10 that's not got any decimals or anything, just literally add a 0 on the end. So, you can literally just pop in the box here, 1010 with an extra 0, and that will give us that extra mark. Well done if you got that one. Let's have a look at question 11. So, 560 divided by 7. Well, I know that 7 times something equals 56. Okay, so I know that 7 times 8 is 56. So if I times 7 by, so if I multiply that 8 by 10, because it's 560, I'm going to get the answer as 80. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at question 12. Pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so for question 12, we've got 6 times 10 times 11. Now, how I would approach this is I know that timesing by 10 is probably the easiest thing to do in that whole situation there. So I would do 6 times 11 first to get 66, and then times 66 by 10 to make 660. So well done if you got that answer. Okay, so let's move on to question 13. So pause the video and have a little go. Okay, how did you get on? So we've got 1080 divided by 9. So I know, again, that we've done some questions like this very similar before. 9 times something equals 108. Okay, so I know that 9 times 12 is 108. 1080 has been times by 10, so just times that 12 by 10 to make 120. So well done if you got 120 for that question. Okay, so let's take a look at question 14. Pause video and have a little go. Okay, how did you get on with this one? So we've got 500,000 take away 5,000. So I would literally just do this as a column subtraction if you're not 100% sure. So 500,000, so that's 6 zeros, isn't it? Nope, 5 zeros, sorry. So I told you I'd make mistakes along the way. And take away 5,000. So making sure we're lining these digits up correctly. Okay. Right, let's have a go. So 0 take away 0 is 0. 0 take away 0 is 0. 0 take away 0 is 0. 0 take away 5. Oh, we can't do that. Let's go to next door. Let's exchange from here. Oh, can't do that either. So we'll start working from the 5. Make that a 10. And then make this a 10 here. So 10 take away 5 in the thousands is 5. 9 take away 0 is 9. And then 4 take away 0, because you can always put in some placeholders here if that helps you. And then 4 take away 0 is 4. To make our answer 495,000. So I told you I'd make mistakes as I go along. Anyway, thank you for bearing with me. Make sure that the answer goes into the answer box there to make sure you get that 1 mark. And let's see what question 15 has to say. Okay, so here's question 15. Pause the video and have a little go. Right, how did you get on? So we've got a multiplication question here. So I don't know my 7 times table up to 596 multiples. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line this up as column multiplication. So 6 times 7 is 42. 9 times 7 is 63. Add the 4 is 67. 5 times 7 is 35. Add 6 is 41. to give us an answer of 4,172. Well done if that's what the answer you got as well. Okay, let's take a look at question 16. Pause the video and have a little go. Okay, how did you get on? So if you've seen some of my other method videos, you'd have seen that I sort of use the jumping method for as a little mental strategy when working out these sort of questions. So what you could do is, because we're dividing it by 10, we're making it smaller, which means we're going to the left. Okay. So what we're going to literally just divide it by 10 and make it go that way to make this answer. Let's put the decimal point here, and the 0 can go there to make our answer 0.212. So well done if that's the answer that you got for that one. Okay, let's take a look at question 17. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, so for this one, because it's a 2-digit number, I'd probably use long division for this one. So to start off with, I would just write the multiples of 21 down the side or along the top to help me out with that. So I'm going to do 21, 42, 60, 3, just bear with me, 84. I think that's enough because the highest it goes up to is 72 or 67 either way, so I'd probably just leave it there with those. So 21 to 6 doesn't go, so 21 into 67. That goes, the closest one is 63, so that's 3 times. So I'm going to pop a 3 here, and then I'm going to write 63 underneath because 21 times 3 is 63 to find out what our remainder will be. So then we're going to take these away. So 7 take away 3 is 4. Then 6 take away 6 is 0. I'm going to bring this 2 down to make 42. Okay, so 21 into 42. I can see that goes exactly twice. So that's 32. 2 on top there to make an answer of 32. Just to double check there's no remainders. So 21 times 2 is 42. And then we're going to take that away. So 2 take away 0. 2 take away 2 is 0. 4 take away 4 is in the tens is 0. So that must mean that's our answer. And we're going to pop in 32 here. Now, because that's a 2-mark question, we definitely need to make sure we're showing some sort of working. You can use short division as well. As long as you have some sort of working, and it even says show your method, then there's a possibility of gaining 2 marks for that question. Well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, so let's take a look at question 8. So it says 4/9 add 2/3 equals. So pause the video and have a little go. How did you get on with this one? So let's just go through how I'd have got to my answer. So I'm going to make these have the same denominator. So I know that 3 goes into 9, and I know that 9 goes into 9 once. So I'll just keep the 4/9 the same. So I'll do 4/9 add 2/3. So what we're going to do is convert them both into ninths. Okay, well 4/9 has already been done for us because it just goes in once. So 2/3 is in ninths, so 3 goes into 9 3 times to make 9. So 6 times 2 is 6. So that would make 10/9, or 1 and 1/9. So I would make sure that you put in either one of those in the box here. I'm just going to put in 1 and 1/9. Okay, but either one of those is valid. The answer scheme says so. So as long as you use one of those, that's fine. And you've got 1 mark there in the bag. Well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, let's take a look at question 19. This is a 2-mark question and it says show your method. So this is something you need to make sure that you're doing. So even if you make some multiplication errors in this one, you could still get at least 1 mark for this question. So make sure that you're doing that. Okay, so pause the video and have a little go at this one. Okay, so we've got 7 times 3, which is 21. So I'm just going to pop that there for now. Actually, I'm going to start again. I'm going to show you why. Because it's a long multiplication question, I know that I'm going to need a 0 here in the second row. So straight away, pop that in so you don't forget that you've got to do it. That's the first thing that I would do. Anyway, let's make a start. So 7 times 3 is 21. So I'll put my 1 in here. Let's make a little 2 here for now. I can always rub these out a little bit later. 0 times 3 is 0. Then add the 2 is 2. Okay. And that was with a wiggly 3. Never mind. And then 6 times 3 is 18. So in the hundreds, so I'm going to pop that into those boxes there. Now the reason why I haven't put the 1 underneath is because there's no other number to multiply by. So just straight, I'm going to put that 1 into the thousands column. Okay. So 8 times. So let's move on to the timesing everything by 10. So I'll put my 0 in. So 8 times 7 is 56. So let's pop that in there. Let's make a 6 there. 8 times 0 is 0. Add 5 is 5. Okay. Then 6 times 8 is 48. And I don't need to put the 4 down here because I don't have any more numbers I'm going to be multiplying by. So I can just literally pop that in there. Then we're going to add these all up. Okay, so 1 adds 0 is 1. 2 add 6 is 8. 8 add 5 is 13. 1 add 8 add 1 is 10. And 4 add 1 is 5 to make an answer of 550,381. I need to make sure that answer goes into the box. 81. Make sure I've actually copied it correctly as well. I've seen some people when they're doing this, they've got the right answer here, and they've copied the wrong answer in there, and they're always only going to take the answer in this box. So make sure that you copy the correct answer in. Well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, so let's take a look at question 20. So it's this question here. Pause the video to have a little go. Okay, how did you get on? So again, in my previous videos on my YouTube channel, you'll see that I use the jumping method for multiplying by 1,000 or dividing by 10, 100, 1,000, stuff like that. So I would literally just get my decimal point. Let's write this out into here. 1, 3. I'm using more space. Put a decimal point there, rather than using the boxes this time, just to give myself a bit more room. So I'm not doing any adding or subtracting, so it's fine this time. So I'm now going to make this one bigger. So it means I need to go to the right if I'm multiplying. So I've got 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 3. Pop a 0 underneath. And I've got 13,050. So I did say I might make a few mistakes here and there. Well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, let's take a look at question 21. Have a pause the video and have a little go. Okay, how did you get on? So what I would do is I would probably just, so there's several ways you could do it. You could just add the 2/3 together and the 1/3 together to make one whole, and add the 2 and 1 together to make an answer of 3. Or you could make this into an improper fraction. So you could do 2/3 add 7 thirds. So no, you couldn't. No, I've got 2 wholes, and I've got 2/3 add 1/3. That makes one more whole, so that makes an answer of 3. So if that's what you got for that one there, well done. If that's what you got as well. Let's move on to question 22. Right, so we've got 7/10 of 30 for this question. Pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so to find any fraction of an amount, I would literally just divide the whole number by the denominator, then multiply by the numerator. So 30 divided by 10 is 3, and then 3 times 7 is 21. So I'm going to pop that in that box to get my answer for that one. So well done if you got 21. Okay, let's take a look at question 23. So pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so again, I would just set this up as column subtraction. So I've got 8. Now, because I've got some decimal points, a decimal point in there. I'm going to set this up as a decimal as well. So there's nothing after those. Then I'm going to got 5 ones there, decimal point, then 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm going to subtract this one. So 0 take away 3, we can't do. Take it from it. No, can't do that. Can't go from there either. So I'm going to have to take it from the 8 and then just exchange these as I go along. Okay, so then 10 take away 3 is 7. 9 take away 2 in the hundredths is 7. 9 take away 1 in the tenths is 8. Decimal point. 7 take away 5 ones is 2. To make an answer of 2.877. Oh, don't know why I put another point in there. That's a bit random. Make sure you don't do that. Okay. To make sure that you get the correct answer. So I told you, be making mistakes as I go along, and that's good to show you that, to show that we're all human, and we just, as long as you know that you're making them, then that's fine, and you know how to fix it, then that's fine. So if I hadn't picked up on that mistake, I'd have lost a mark there. So just really double check that what you're writing in the box is accurate. Okay, so let's take a look at question 24. Okay, so pause the video and have a little go. So how did you get on? So this is a bit of a keep, change, flip scenario because we've got 1/8 divided by 2. So we can set this up as 1/8 divided by 2 over 1. So we're going to keep the 1/8, change the divide to a multiply, and then flip this over to make it 1/2. So we're going to do 1 times 1 equals 1 as our numerator. 8 times 2 for our denominator be 1/16. So 1/8 divided by 2 is 1/16. So well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, so let's take a look at question 25. So we've got 1/2 add 1/3. Pause the video to have a little go. Okay, so how did you get on? So because they both don't have the same denominator, I would make sure they both have the same denominator. So I know that 6 is a denominator that they can both be divided into. So let's get those put into sixths. Oh, a bit wonky. Never mind. Right, so 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 goes into 6 twice, so 2 times 1 is 2. Now they both have the same denominator, we can add them. So 3 add 2 is 5, and then we keep these the same. We don't need to add those, so they always stay the same when you're adding denominators. To make that 5/6, I need to make sure we write 5/6 in the box. So well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, so we've got question 26. So 26 take away 2.012. So pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so how did you get on? So I would literally just set this up as column subtraction like I did for the last few questions, using the boxes to help me line up the digits. So then I've got 2.012. Okay, let's subtract these. So 0 take away 2 we can't do. Can't exchange anything from anywhere apart from the 6. So let's make that a 5. Make that a 10. That's a 9. Then make that, change that again. So 10 take away 2 is 8 in the thousandths. Oh, that's a 10. So it says an 8. 9 take away 1 in the hundredths is 8. 9 take away 0 is 0. Decimal point. 5 take away 2 is 3 in the ones. Then 2 take away 0, always put as a placeholder if that helps you, is 2. To make an answer of 23.988. Make sure you're copying your answer exactly as you've done it. Don't change it, whatever you do. So well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, so question 27, 15% of 3,200. Pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so how did you get on? So we need to find 15% of this. So how I would break this down into finding 10%, then 5%. Finding 10% is we're literally dividing this number by 10 to make 320. So if 10% equals 320, we can then find 5%. So I've divided this by 2 to make it 5. 2. So I need to make sure I divide this by 2 to make it 5%. Do the same to both sides. So 320 divided by 2. So if you're not sure, you could always just do a bit of short division. So 2 into 3 goes once, and then 2 into 12 goes 6 times, and 2 into 0 goes 0, so that's 160. Now we want to find 15%, so I'd literally add these two together. I'm just going to do it here. So 0 add 0 is 0, 2 add 6 is 8, and then 3 add 1 in the hundreds is 4. To make 480, then making sure we write that in our answer box to get that 1 mark. So well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, so 28 is another percentages question. So pause the video and have a little go. How did you get on? So if you're because it says 2% of 3,000, I would maybe find 1%, which means that we're dividing this number by 100. Okay, and then I would then times that answer by 2 to get 2%. So 1% would be, so 1%, we're going to divide this number by 100, would be 30. So 2%, sorry if my percentage sounds like a bit odd today. So I'm times that by 2 to get to 2. So I'm going to times 30 by 2 to get to 60. So 2% of 3,000 would be 60. Well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, so let's take a look at question 29. Pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so how did you get on with this one? So again, because it's a 2-digit number, I would probably use some long division again. It says show your method. It's 2 marks. We need to make sure we're showing a method. See if we get it wrong somewhere, we can still get a mark for showing a method. You could use short division for this one as well, but I'm going to use long just to really try and help embed that with you, just in case you need to use it for anything. So first of all, what I would do is I would do the 73 multiples of the multiples of 73. Again, I don't know my multiples of 73. And this might be one that you might spend a little bit more time on, as long as you've spent less time on other questions a bit further back. So I've got 73, 146. I'm probably going to only need to go up to about 300 because it doesn't really go much. I won't need any more than that. I've got 219. And then my next one would be 292. And just an extra one, I have 365, just in case I need it, but I won't do because it doesn't go beyond 365, so that's fine. Right, so let's get stuck in. So 73 into 3 doesn't go. 73 into 30, again, doesn't go. So 73 into 306. The closest one I've got is the 4th multiple, so I'm going to pop a 4 here. And then I'm going to write 292 underneath. Okay, then subtract that to find the remainder. So 6 take away 2 is 4. 0 take away 9 we can't do, so let's make that a 2 and make that a 10. So that's now made it into, so 10 take away 9 is 1. And then 2 take away 2 is 0. Okay, so now I'm going to bring down the 6. Okay, so 73 into 146 goes twice. So I'm going to pop that on top to make an answer of 42. Just going to double check there's no further remainders. So 73 times 2 is 146. Let's subtract these. So 6 take away 0, 6 is 0. 4 take away 4 is 0. 1 take away 1 is 0. So my answer for that one must be 42. Okay, so well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, so we're getting close towards the end of the paper now. There are 36 questions in total. We're now on question 30. So we're getting to the business end now. So obviously the video says we're now on nearly about 35 minutes, but I have been explaining, doing a little bit of chatting in between, but I have more or less kept within the time so far, just about. Anyway, so let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at question 30. Pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so how did you get on? So we've got 80% of 115. So as I said before, there are several ways you could do this one. You could do find 10%, then times it by 8, or you could we could then times that answer by 2. So you can find 10% times it by 2 to make 20% and take that away from 115. So because 115 is your total amount as 100%. So let's find 10%. So 10% equals, we're going to divide this number by 10. So imagine we've got our decimal point here. I'm going to make that 11.5. Flip it over. Whoops. So that's 10%. So you can either times this by 8, or I'm going to just times it by 2 to find 20%. So that would be, 10 times, so that would make one whole there. So that would make it, let's have a think. So 11 times 5 add 11 times 5 would be 23. I think, yeah, 23. Okay. So 115 take away 23 would be, so let's do a bit of column subtraction. Okay, 23, making sure we're lining the digits up. So for that would be 5 take away 3 is 2. 1 take away 2 we can't do. So let's make that 11. So 11 take away 2 is 9. Let's make that 92. So well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, let's take a look at question 31. So pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so again, I need to make these denominators the same. So 63 would be the one that I would use. So let's get those into 63s. Oops. I did say I would make the odd mistake here and there. Right, so let's get that into 63s as well. So 7 times 9 is 63, so 9 times 2 is 18. So then 9 times 7 is 63, so 7 times 1 is 7. So let's subtract these. We need to subtract the numerators to make 11. These stay the same, so it'll be 11 over 63. Okay, so well done if that's the answer that you got. Okay, let's go to question number 32. Pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so we've got 2.5 take away 2/3. So let's make these into all the same. So let's make this into a improper fraction first. So 2 times 4 is 2. Yeah, let's start again. I told you I make mistakes. So 2 times 2 is 4. Add the 1 makes 5 halves. Take away 2/3. Okay. Now we're going to make those into sixths. Okay. So we've got to have the same denominator. So 2 times 3 is 6. So 5 times 3 must be 15. 3 times 2 is 6. So 2 times 3 is let's start again. 3 times 2 is 6. So 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. So then we could subtract that to make 11 over 6. Or you could have so that would be 6 1 whole and 5/6. So either one of those the mark scheme says you're allowed to have. So I'm going to pop in 1 and 5/6 because the question starts off with a mixed number, so I'm going to end it with a mixed number. Well done if that's what you got. Okay, we're not far off from the end now. So pause the question here to have a go at question number 33. Okay, so how'd you get on? So it's a 2-mark question. Need to show our method. So we're going to do 8 times 7. That's 15. No, it's not. It's 56. See? I added there, making sure that you're using the correct method there as well. So 8 times 6 is 56. 7 times 7 is 49. Add 5 is 54. 7 times 0 is 0. So add the 5 is 5. 7 times 4 is 28. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just rub these bottom numbers out so I don't get confused. Oops, let's just got rid of that 4. Okay, there we go. Right, so I'm going to put a 0 here. You can always put this on at the very beginning of doing one of these as well, just to make so you don't forget to do them. So 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 7 is 42. Add 4 is 46. 6 times 0 is 0. Add 4 is 4. 6 times 4 is 24. And let's pop that in there like that. Okay, let's add these up. So 6 add 0 is 6. That makes 12. The 4 add 12. This makes 12. 8 add 4 add 1 is 13. 2 add 4 add 1 is 7. And then add 0, you can always put a 0 there if it helps you. 0 add 2 is 2. To make an answer of 273,226. So well done if that's the answer that you got. So the second question of 34, as you can see, we've got the last few questions coming up now. So pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so what I would do is I'd start off by taking away the wholes. So I've got 10 take away 2, which is 8. Then I've still got to take away 1/4. So you could exchange one of these wholes into 4/4. You have 7 and then 4/4 like this. So there we go. I'm going to take away one of those quarters to make 7 3/4. Okay, so well done if that's the answer that you got for that one. Okay, so let's take a look at question 35. Pause the video and have a little go. Okay, so how did you get on? So this one is a BODMAS or BIDMAS style question. So don't rush into doing 6 add 4, which is 10 divided by 2 is 5, because that isn't the answer to this question. So divide comes before adding. So I do 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Then add 6 is 8. So I'm going to pop that in my answer box there. So well done if that's what you got. Okay, it's time for the final question. Pause the video and have a little go. How did you get on? So we've got 4/5 times 400 for our final question. So what I'm going to do is just make them both into fractions. So that'll be 400 over 1. Okay, so then I've got 4 times 400, which is 1,600 over 5. Now the mark scheme doesn't allow this answer. It wants you to actually give it as a full, as a whole number at the end rather than as a fraction. So if you're not sure what 1,600 divided by 5 is, just set it up like so. As a bit of a bus stop division method. So 5 into 1 doesn't go. So 5 into 16 goes 3 times with 1 left over. 5 into 10 goes twice, and then there's no remainders. So 5 into 0 goes 0 times. So this answer must be 320. So well done if that's what you got as well. Thank you so much for watching this arithmetic paper walkthrough. I hope it's been of any use, and I hope that you did really well with it. And if you'd like to book tuition, do let me know. We do have some availability coming up. So thanks so much for watching and for choosing to watch my video. Thank you so much. Bye.